Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Kim Wood, obviously from Inner Gaze Yoga. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll always get a notification when these lives are coming out. So tonight we're doing Sucirandharasana, Eye of the Needle. And this is something that's very, very relaxing. It's also good for those folks who can't do regular pigeon because there's a knee injury. It's very safe on the back. And it's a really beautiful way to open up those tight hips and open up that lower back. So let's come on over. Turn off your phones if you haven't done that because we are unplugging. And I know what we're going to need. We're going to need a blanket and definitely going to need 2 blocks. And just welcome yourself. So 30 minutes, we'll just pop onto our mat. We'll let the day go, shake it off, come back to center, to remembering ourselves. And then maybe at the end of the class, you'll stay for some more postures that you want to work on your own, or maybe you'll be done and you'll jump back into your evening. Whatever you need, whatever you need. So welcome. Let's find a comfortable position. And if you feel like you want to keep your legs out straight, go ahead and do that. If you want to find Sukhasana or Siddhasana, maybe sitting up on a bolster or a pillow or a blanket of some sort, if that makes your hips feel a little bit more open. And by that, I mean, are your hips, are your knees higher than the hips? If that's the case, then it will definitely be more comfy for you to pop yourself up on something so that those knees can be lower and then those hips, fronts of the legs can be releasing a little bit. So something for everybody. Okay, so let's just pause here. One of the things that I want to cover tonight is the idea of our knee safety. So please look and see what you're doing here in the ankles as we even just get ready to get ready. A lot of times we sickle the ankle, we turn the ankle, and then it takes the shin bone and the femur bone offline, and that's how we sort of torque our knees. So if you find there anything that's whispering in the inner knees, one of the sequences I like to do is take a blanket or a towel, anything like that, and you can hold the ankles up. And that way you're keeping those shin bones and the femur bones lined up. And then obviously my knees are higher, so I would stack my hips as well. But keep yourself comfy, supremely comfy. All right, so let's sit still for a moment. Oh, just pause the physical movement, making any adjustments you need to get ready. If you need to fix your props, if you need to adjust your clothes or your hair, like do it all. Really set yourself up here so that we can sit still for a moment. Hmm. Sitting still for a moment together. Notice any craving to move or any craving to lie down. Maybe you're already on the ground. Just let out a big ol' exhale. Let's turn that inner gaze on now and start to look in at that inner body, that breath body. How's it moving? Does it float more into the upper chest, to the lower belly, all over the place? What do you notice about this inner body, this breath work? If you haven't already, sometimes it's nice to give a tiny, tiny little tuck of the chin, dropping it to the throat a little bit, just a humble inward gaze. Drishti. And one more minute in quiet here. We're going to sit still for a moment. Just check in. How am I doing tonight? What am I presenting with? How do I feel in my body, in my breath, in my mind? 1 minute. Sit still for a moment together. Resisting the mind chatter, just keep coming back here and now. Beautiful, right? Feels nice to sit still. Okay, now we're going to use our exhale. So we're going to think about it as like releasing the day, depending upon when you're watching this video. Just push the air out, let it all go. Anything that's not serving you, inhale a new moment. So we'll do this about 8 times. Sometimes when we feel like it's hard for us to exhale, if we purse the lips and blow through a really tiny straw, it's a really nice way to get that exhale out. So either way, through the nose on the exhale, or if you feel like you really want to push some air out using that pursed lips. Here we go, 8 times. Inhale, exhale. You could even lean forward, push all that air out, 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 out. Inhale. Fill up all that goodness, all that yumminess coming in, and push it out. 6 more. Let the day go, let the shoulder tension go, let the thought chatter go, all the things, let them go. The emails, the conversations. For the next 4, maybe we'll change the cross of our legs. Keep going. Maybe those inhales and exhales are getting a little bit longer now. Just watch it go. 3 more. Last one. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So nice, so nice. Okay, so here's our lesson for today. So go ahead and take your legs out to Upavista Konasana. And I just want to give everybody the reminder that this is a chain, and anything we're doing in the chain here has to happen through the entire chain. That's what's going to keep our hip and our knee safe. So just play with this for a moment. The whole leg rolling in and rolling out. A lot of us, when we're not moving mindfully, we will move the lower leg one way and not the upper leg. And that's, again, torquing that shin bone and the femur bone. They want to stay together to keep this knee safe. Let's do about 5 times on the other side. Roll it together and out. Kind of fun, yeah? This whole chain. And think about this in your standing poses too. This idea that when you're turning out to triangle or half moon, You want to have that whole chain moving together. It's going to keep you safe, and it's going to keep the bones to do that work. One more deep breath, and very nice. Okay, so now we're going to come to being on our back. You're going to have your blocks nearby so that you don't have to go a searching. And maybe you'll have a pillow if you want. And we'll come down to our back here for a moment. So Sucirandharasana, eye of the needle. We can do it with the lower body and we can do it with the upper body. We'll cover both, but the main one is the lower body. So let's practice this. So the first thing we want to do is take our hands down to the sides here and finding balance on the feet, balance on the left and right sides of our pelvis, balance on the left and right sides of our shoulder blades, upper arm bone, all the way down to the hands, to the tip of the fingers. Feel the balance of your body. Oh, and here again, we're going to sit still for a moment. Just let all those little back muscles that have been working so hard, holding you up in the chair or at the car, just let those muscles just float to the ground. These last 2 or 3 breaths, do you notice any part of your body that's holding back, that's resisting this letting go? See if you can bring your attention there and then let it go. That breath is magic. All right, so let's take our time without lifting the head, using the strength of our core. Bring our left knee to the chest. Interlace your fingers behind that leg. So remember the lesson. We're going to keep the chain moving. So go ahead and extend the heel to your level and then bend that knee again. So some of you may not open that knee all the way. That's okay. And down. So we're going to do this about 6 more times. What you're doing is you're watching that line. Kneecap is looking at that second, third toe. Working a little deeper, maybe you'll open that right knee. Good times. And then hold. So here's yogi's choice. You could stay here with the knee extended and play with just opening the hamstring. If you're feeling more flexible, you could grab the foot and play. Or another way to work on this, which is what I've been liking to do, is pull the thigh into the chest and still keep those toes turned on into a 90-degree angle. So you're trying to aim to have a 90-degree angle here. So find something that works for you today. I think I'll do this one. 8 breaths. Primarily, we're releasing the back muscles. Secondarily, we're moving the hamstrings. So the first focus right now is to relax the muscles of the face and the back. Melt. One more deep breath. Now you see the chain, you see this way of holding your leg. Go ahead and take it back to the sky. We want the ankle right over the hip. So notice I'm not below and I'm not above. And if that means you need to bend the knee to keep that knee over the hip, then that's what you'll do. Okay. And all we're going to do, if your knee's bent, you'll do the same thing. We're going to do a rotation. Open it and neutral. So my knee is looking at me, and now my knee is looking to the outside, and then me, and then outside. So there's that rotation, internal, or actually neutral, external, neutral, external. Just play with that a couple times. Toss your arms up if you want to just encourage more relaxation here. It's just noticing 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Go ahead and drop that leg down. Bring both knees to bend and just windshield wiper your knees side to side. How's that? It's hard to relax the muscles when the hamstrings are tight. So I hear you. I hear you on that. Okay. So let's do the other side now. Hug the other right knee in, interlace your fingers, and just feel that. Maybe again, you'll extend. Yogi's choice. You could take the leg up and hold it behind the thigh and just play there. You could bend the knee and really try to snuggle that thigh against the chest and keeping a 90-degree angle here, or even grabbing the foot and starting to reach out in an extended knee, whatever you're feeling. I know I feel pretty tight in my hamstrings today. So I'm going to work here. Find something that works for you today, and let's focus on 8 deep breaths of relaxing the muscles of our back. One more big breath. That's it. Very nice. Again, take that leg up, finding the ankle right above the knee. If it's too challenging, you can always bend the knee. And now we're just opening the hip. So open it and then back to neutral. Open it like you're open a doorknob. Open the doorknob. 3 and 4. It's nice to sit still with you guys. I'm glad you're here. Jump on the mat, quick little practice, cycle things through, get back to our lives, using yoga rather than just doing it. Nice job. Glad you're here. One more big one. And then same thing, bend the knee, put the foot down, bring both feet down, stay here, go to bridge if you want to, or again, just windshield wiper those knees side to side. So we're going to use our blocks now. So have those handy. And so let's come back to neutral. So moving into this eye of the needle pose. So we want to have a balance in our pelvis. And once we start to do the pose, it changes the balance. So look here for a moment. As soon as I put my leg up, it changed my position. So as we play tonight, I want us to focus on really finding balance. And the way I like to teach it is to take 2 blocks. Your knees are hip distance, your feet are hip distance. And if your arms aren't long enough, you can always use these blocks here to hold extension. And you're going to push the very tops of those thighs away. So see if you can feel some length, some action in that tractiony back there. Pressing here, feeling neutral. Just play with that for about 5 breaths. If your arms are long enough and the blocks are in your way, feel free to use the heels of your hands. And just keep inching yourself long. When you exhale, don't forget to use the exhale. Let yourself have that letting go, right? Every time you exhale, let yourself have that letting go. One more. Okay, let's challenge ourselves now without lifting the head. Left knee to chest, left heel to sky. Open the doorknob, open that leg, bend the knee, and place the ankle on the other thigh. Okay. Now, never ever pressing on the knee joint. We could press on the top of the thigh and start to push this thigh away. But do you see that the other side opens up? If I push my left leg, my right upper hip moves. So, what I want you to do again is, if you can, bring your blocks here or the heels of your hands and press both thighs away from you evenly. Now, to keep this left knee safe, we have to double check that our toes are looking at the kneecap. So my ankle is flexed and my toes are pulling back towards the knee. And I'm feeling a lot of traction action in my lower back. Both thigh bones are moving away. Take one more deep breath. Now keep the feeling that they're moving away. Keep that feeling. There's lots of space there, but you're also going to start to bring them in. Some folks may decide that you want a strap here. I'm not going to do it myself, but if you want one, grab it. Keep feeling that those thighs are pulling away, and take your fingers, your eye of the needle. There's the needle hole right between my legs. I'm going to reach between there. Hello. And I'm going to grab the back of my thigh. Now, the cool thing is I can use my left elbow to sort of encourage this hip to open. But the main objective tonight is to feel that this is opposite. You're pulling in and pushing out evenly. It's going to be really beautiful for your back. So here we are. We're in eye of needle. I'm using the left hand to open up that hip. The toes are still looking at the kneecap. I'm having fun. I'm breathing. I'm feeling the outer hip getting a nice stretch. Sometimes it's nice to rock a little bit. And then keeping this feeling that the thighs are moving away from you. Maybe again, you'll go and grab the back of that ankle or maybe the toes. You work at the level that you are. If you're happy with what you're doing, continue. The one last cue I want to give you is allow the back to soften. And sometimes that means allow that tailbone to start dropping to the floor. So instead of bringing it in where you're curving like you're sitting in a chair, see if you can keep that balance of the pelvis and work those hips at the same time. We'll go for 12 breaths. Find a level that serves you tonight. Keep those toes looking at the knee. Keep energetically pulling those thighs away towards the ceiling at the same time as you're pulling them in. So you're doing two things at once. Keep melting those back muscles. And gently, gently, gently come on down. So this is a beautiful counter pose for those that can't do the pigeon on the turned over. That is a nice little thing to do. You're still getting that hip opener. Okay, so let's see how that felt. Take about 5 breaths. Just notice. Do you notice one side was done and not the other? The processing time is really important. My teacher always says it's between the poses that the yoga occurs. So feel resist any need to rush. Okay, let's take that right leg up. Let's open that hip, bend the knee, and place that ankle on the thigh. Again, keeping the knee safe, we want to turn the toes to the kneecap. Use your blocks if you need to, and press both thighs away evenly. Even though we can feel one side of the pelvis lifting, we're going to do our best to balance it out. About 5 breaths. Beautiful. Again, keep the feeling that energetically the thighs are moving away, but you'll start to bring them in. Eye of the needle, right arm reaches between their hello, and we interlace around that left leg. Toes are still on, and I'm going to work the right elbow now. See if you can use your right elbow to encourage even more of a hip opener without leaning on one side. So keep that level action. Pulling the thighs to the sky at the same time as you're pulling the thighs towards you, doing 2 things at once, finding a level position where you can work on a level that feels safe to you, but also opening. And then again, the last thing is, can we feel the relaxing of that lower back? The lower back wants to move towards the floor. It wants to go night night. So let that lower back just release. About 12 breaths here, deep medicinal breaths. Breathe into those tight spots and keep melting the back. So nice. 3 more big breaths. Sucirandharasana. Sucirandharasana. Eye of the needle. Slowly bring that leg down and unwind that other leg. And again, just pause for a moment. Maybe you even want to take those legs out. And we'll sit still for a moment together. Notice the chain, the way the legs want to open from the hips, and then it responds all the way through. 1 or 2 more deep breaths. Beautiful. Let's start to slide over. We're going to finish up here, but slide over and make your way to hands and knees. We'll do a little cat-cow here, just moving the spine a little bit. And sort of erasing anything that was held there. And if you'd like to go to down dog, go to down dog. Otherwise, we're going to do the other eye of the needle. So we're going to reach our arm through. So if you feel comfortable doing that, reach your arm through, maybe interlace your fingers and feel a little bit of an opening in the shoulder. If you want to do that, maybe extend that leg out. Same thing, we're threading through. Feeling the space between the shoulder blades. And if this feels at all tweaky in your neck, I hope you're in downward dog instead. Getting a little bit of release there. Beautiful. Let's come on out and just one little peek over here at the other side. Arm up, reaching right through and taking yourself down. Again, maybe interlacing, maybe extending the opposite leg out. So we've got that right leg out and we're keeping the toes down. Little shrug of the shoulders here. We're feeling that nice rotation of the neck. As we sit still for a moment together again. Just letting that day go and coming back, back, back. Maybe sitting into Vajrasana where you're sitting on your ankles, perhaps. Maybe you're coming onto your back. And just pause for a moment. Feel what you're feeling. Perhaps you're just getting started. Perhaps you want to recline and take some time to soak it in, to take some inventory of your day. Maybe you're ready to go back to your life, to fun things. But jumping on our mat, such a lovely habit, isn't it? So find your way to your last posture, whatever that is. I do have a Valentine's Day yoga retreat coming up where we're going to be soaking in 2-hour classes. How nice is that? 2 hours of studying the doshas or 2 hours of feeling how we're aligning on the different layers of our body. So if you're free Valentine's weekend and you want to take a couple classes or lots of classes, hi Michael, then reach out. As always, I'm so glad you're here. I'll see you next Tuesday. Deep bows to you all. And namaste. Namaste, Michael.